French explorers had much influence on the state, from the unique cuisine to the obviously French names of the cities, such as New Orleans, Chambly, Lafayette, Shreveport, Monroe, and the capital city, Baton Rouge. I'm sure that the explorers never imagined that over 4.5 million people would live in the 52,000 square mile area that Louisiana is made up of today, and would still enjoy the tradition of eating king cake. I'm sure that Louisiana's state bird, the brown pelican, who is on the state's flag, resting on top of the state's motto, Union, Justice, and Confidence, has enjoyed a tasty morsel of king cake here and there since the tradition began. Okay. Today you'll have the opportunity to try this legendary food, so let's get cooking. A king cake is a Catholic tradition that honors the visit of the three wise men during the time of the birth of Jesus. Records from the mid-1600s write about individuals who enjoyed king cake during the celebratory period between Epiphany and Mardi Gras. The purpose of Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, is to indulge it before Ash Wednesday. Many residents of New Orleans eat the cake every day leading up to Ash Wednesday. So first we're going to take 1 cup of milk that we've heated to about 120 degrees. So we're going to pour it into a pot. And along with that, we're going to add half a cup of sugar, a heaping tablespoon of flour, and 2 packets of yeast. So now we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes until the yeast activates, which is called proofing. Alright, so now we just let the yeast proof for 5 minutes, and so now we're going to stir it up. So now to this, we're going to add 5 egg yolks and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, some nutmeg, and 3.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1 cup of melted butter. Okay, now we're going to stir it up and take it to the mixer. Alright, so this right here is a dough hook, and this pretty much just moves the dough all around. And so this is what we're going to use to mix our dough. The flour in just little by little. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're just going to start it. Spanish and French explorers first came to Louisiana looking for precious golds and metals. But instead they discovered lots of cotton and oil. Because of this, they started using these resources to make each other's countries rich. We just molded our dough into a ball. We're going to put it in our bowl. So now we're going to cover it up with some saran wrap. So Louisiana had French and Spanish influence, but today it mostly has a French influence. And the way you can tell is because a lot of their cuisine has French in it, and most of the city names actually are French. And now we're going to take a baking sheet that we greased. We're just going to stick it right on top. There we go, just like that. We are going to let it rise one more time. Now that the cake has baked for about 30 minutes, we're going to put it on cooling racks so that way it'll cool properly. So the king cake is all done baking, so now we're going to make a frosting to go on top. So we have 2 cups of powdered sugar and a dash of cinnamon in here. Now we're going to put a teaspoon of lemon juice and a 1/4 cup of condensed milk. Scoop it all out. Alright, so then me and my assistant, Mr. Eggy, are going to be whisking it all together. Put a naked plastic baby in. Traditionally, a bean or a pea were secretly placed in the cake before baking. Whoever found the bean was the king of the day, and whoever found the pea was the queen of the day. Beginning around the years of 1870, the Catholics decided to put either a plastic or porcelain baby in there to represent the baby Jesus. So now we're going to place it in there. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And then we'll serve it, and then once it's all done cooling, we'll put our frosting on and then we'll serve it. Alright, so now we're going to frost our king cake since it's all done cooling and we've already stuck the baby in there. So We're just going to get a pastry brush. We're just going to brush it with our frosting. Afterwards, once we're all done, we're going to sprinkle on 3 different colored sugars. We're going to sprinkle on gold, which stands for power, green, which stands for faith, and purple, which stands for justice. King cake parties are recorded as beginning in New Orleans when the Spanish and French colonists settled in the area. The cake was divided equally, plus 1 to represent the share of God, was set aside for the first poor person to arrive at the home. And you're the first person to arrive at my home. So you get the first piece. Hey. Hey. I got a baby. An interesting fact is that the French president is considered rude to take privilege from poor people. Therefore, the president is served a piece of cake that has been baked individually. The plastic baby represents the little baby Jesus, and whoever finds it, it gets treated as royalty for the day, because since Jesus was a king, they get to be like a king or a queen for the day. Since you found the baby, you are named king for this day only. Tomorrow he has to supply the cake.
Hey, I heard that.
I don't know what's more beautiful, Louisiana state flower, the magnolia, or my king cake. It looks amazing. Even though it's a couple days past Mardi Gras, I hope you enjoyed tasting a traditional king cake, and maybe you'll be the lucky king or queen of the lions.